A siren explodes in a Soviet bunker. A red word flashes. Launch. The computer says America fired nukes, and one officer has minutes to decide if it's real or if he just starts World War III. It's late night, September 26, 1983. Deep inside a Soviet early warning command post, the air feels recycled. The lights are too bright. The silence is too loud. This place watches the sky, so the Soviet leadership won't be surprised by an American first strike. And here's the problem. The sky doesn't care about politics. The sky doesn't care about fear. But fear makes humans fast. History never dies. It just echoes through alarms, procedures, and decisions made in the dark. 3 weeks earlier, the world watched a tragedy. Korean Airlines Flight 007 was shot down after straying into Soviet airspace. Trust between superpowers wasn't fragile anymore. It was shattered glass. So when an alarm screams incoming, nobody thinks maybe it's a bug. They think this is it. Tonight, the man staring at that screen is Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov. Not a movie hero, not a politician, a duty officer, the kind of person you only notice when everything goes wrong. And everything is about to go wrong. The system, Soviet satellites nicknamed OKO, flags a launch, not a guess, not a maybe, a confident declaration. One U.S. intercontinental ballistic missile, sirens, flashing lights, phones waiting like loaded weapons. Now imagine your smoke alarm blares fire, but you smell nothing. Do you scream and stampede everyone outside? Or do you pause, knowing that if you pause and you're wrong, you're already dead? That's the Cold War in a sentence. People think nuclear war starts with a button. It doesn't. It starts with a report. A warning goes up the chain. Leaders have minutes, sometimes single digits, to decide what they believe and what they do next. It's like trying to solve a murder mystery while your house is filling with smoke. Petrov's job is to pass the warning upward. Fast, clean, certain. But the first thing that hits him is a question that feels almost illegal. Why one? If the U.S. is truly launching a first strike, it wouldn't be polite. It would be overwhelming, meant to cripple retaliation. One missile makes no sense. Petrov looks for confirmation. Here's the trap. Satellites can see heat signatures high above Earth, but ground radar can't always confirm immediately. Missiles are still below radar's reach at the start of flight. So in these minutes, satellites shout, while radar stays quiet. Quiet doesn't mean safe. Quiet means you're still guessing. The siren hits again. A second launch, then a third, then a fourth, then a fifth. 5 missiles, the computer insists, heading for the Soviet Union. Now everyone in the room feels the same thing. Time collapsing. Because if those launches are real, the war is already happening. And if you respond based on a false alarm, you might be the one who starts it. The Cold War in a hallway with doors on both sides, and every door is labeled disaster. This is where systems become dangerous. Not because they're evil, but because they're confident. The screen doesn't say, I think. It says, I know. And humans crumble in front of certainty. History never dies. It just echoes. And this echo is a siren telling you to believe the machine. Petrov doesn't. He runs the logic again. A first real strike wouldn't be 5. It would be hundreds. The pattern is wrong. The story is wrong. Yet the room is pressuring him without saying a word. Because rules exist for nights like this. Petrov makes the call that feels like stepping off a cliff. False alarm. He refuses to escalate it as a confirmed attack. He buys time by resisting the fastest path. And this is the most part people miss. He isn't saving the world with a heroic button press. He's doing something smaller and harder. He's refusing to let panic become policy. Because once that report goes up as confirmed, the chain wakes up. And a chain, once moving, doesn't like to stop. Now comes the waiting. The worst kind of waiting. Waiting where every second feels like you're stealing it from your future. If missiles are real, radar should eventually catch them. If missiles are real, impacts will be minutes away. If missiles are real, doubt becomes the last thought you ever have. Inside the bunker, faces tighten. Someone swallows like it hurts. A phone sits there like it's judging him. This is the human problem nuclear strategy never solved. In a launch-on-warning world, leaders may have only a sliver of time to decide. That means false alarms aren't just embarrassing, they're existential, and false alarms do happen. That's not conspiracy, that's engineering. Every sensor system has failure modes. Still, Petrov can't prove it's false yet. He can only hold the line. History never dies. It just echoes into moments where one person has to be the brake. The room listens for radar confirmation. Nothing. No blips, no tracks, no incoming objects. Nothing is the loudest sound in the world. Now the pressure flips. At first, the fear is, what if he's underreacted? Now it becomes, what if the machine is wrong? And that's where modern attention snaps. The villain isn't a madman. The villain is misread reality. Still no confirmation. The timeline starts to break the spell, because if 5 ICBMs were coming, the world would be screaming in more ways than one scream. Petrov's decision begins to look less like rebellion and more like sanity. The verdict arrives the way the truth often does, quietly. No missile tracks, no impacts, no war. The computer was wrong. So what did it see? Not rockets, not secret fleets, not betrayal. Sunlight, reflecting off high-altitude clouds at just the right angle, creating a false signature that fooled the satellite system into thinking it detected launches. That's the aha moment. The world didn't almost end because someone wanted it to. It almost ended because nature produced a perfect optical lie, and the machine confidently believed it. And the only reason that lie didn't become reality was one human being stubborn enough to say, "Not yet. Show me more." But here's the part that stings. Petrov wasn't immediately celebrated. The incident was buried in secrecy, wrapped in bureaucracy, and swallowed by a system that doesn't like admitting it can be fooled. Because if the public learns how close it came, the fear echoes, and fear is contagious. So what do we take from 15 minutes that almost rewrote the human story? Technology doesn't remove risk, it relocates it. A new system can create new ways to fail. Speed makes mistakes deadly. When decision time shrinks, the cost of being wrong explodes. Humans matter most at the worst moment, not as heroes, just as breaks, as skeptics, as people who refuse to let a screen do their thinking, because history never dies. It just echoes. It echoes in the next alarm, in the next false alert, in the next room where someone's hands hover over a phone, heart pounding, trying to decide what's real. And one day, somewhere, another siren will scream. The question is, when that echo returns, will we have a Petrov in the chair, or will we let fear answer faster than reason? History never dies. It just echoes. Subscribe for more.